In this video, we're going to pick up from the last video, and we're going to create a jar file this time. So I'm back at the command line. If I do a ls, we can still see that I have the hello world class and the hello world Java there. In this case, I want to do jar cf for create file, and we will do the, we'll call it my jar.jar, not too creative there. And we want to include the class file, like so. Now let's go ahead and do an ls here, and we can see that my jar.jar has been created. Now if I want to run this, what I can do is java minus class path. I'm going to add the jar to the class path, my jar, and we'll say hello. So what this is doing is telling Java to add the jar file to my class path, and then I want to run the class hello world. And we can see that that does in fact create hello world. So that is executing the Java class file out of the jar file. Now let's take a closer look at the jar file itself. I'm going to do make dir, and now I'm going to copy my jar to that, like so. And now I'm going to cd into temp and like clear this. So do an ls. And now, like I said before, that jar file is just a zip file. So what I can do is unzip my jar like so, and we can see that we get the output there. And now if I do an ls minus ltr, we can see that the class file is there. And now we have this directory called meta-inf. And let's cd into meta-inf. And we have this manifest file. Do ls minus ltr. We can see that is just a simple text file. If I do a vi on that, go ahead and take a look. And this is a manifest file. And this is part of the jar specification. We didn't specify what to do with it. We could have made this an executable jar and specified the main class in here, but we did not. There's a couple things that we can do with the manifest file, and we will see this come into play with Maven. So let's get out of here. But the main takeaway that I want you to get from this exercise is that when we are building Java with Maven, Maven underneath the covers is going to be going through and doing this for us. So it's going to be using the Java compiler to create the .class files, as well as using the Java jar executable to go and basically zip up those class files. And we can also tell it what we want in that manifest file. So a number of things that we can do with Maven. A lot of this comes out of the box for us, and we haven't even started talking about packaging and modules and things like that. So we're still very, very much at the basics. But I wanted you to start seeing what Maven is doing for us underneath the covers, because this is like very basic Java stuff, but too many people really skip over this. So I'll like clear this, and let's do a history. And I just want to review some of the commands that I used here. So we can see here on line 586, we did a jar cf. That's what is creating the jar file. So this is what's going to package it up. I could use a wildcard here for the class files, and if I had more than one class in there, I could do a variety of things to actually go in and create that jar file with multiple classes in there. So this is a very simple example. And then because I did not specify a main class in the manifest, we took the default here on line 588. I'm going in and saying the Java, I'm adding to my class path that jar file. And then I'm saying I want to run the class hello world, and that's where we get the hello world output.